It's nothing on me to say, well, I don't know this. I know all of this, but I don't know this. That's cool. I'm an expert over here. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean I have to be an expert on everything. And if I'm gonna learn, I can't claim to know everything. What's there to learn if I know everything? Some people should ask themselves that question. Like, if you know everything, smarty pants. You know, if you're so filled with information, like, how do you pour into a vessel that's full? You know,
right?
You got to acknowledge that, like, you're not that full. You don't know. You might be full of crap. You know, pretending that you know everything. You're full of it, and that's why you don't learn anything, because you're not humble enough to say, I don't know. I can be poured into. Okay, we're recording. What's going on, man?
Are you eating a Kit Kat right now, bro?
I am.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
It's the best time of day. Eat a Kit Kat.
You could even say with a straight face. Look at you.
My doctor says it's the best time. What's going on?
Take a look at yourself.
I look good. I love myself.
Nah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
There is a tissue here with a cough drop that I spit out. My daughter interrupted me. She wanted me to eat something, taste something, and I spit out the cough drop, and it's here. It's probably about 3 days old, and that's what parenting is all about. Is products of circumstance with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We got kids. We got kids for real. And we are parents, and we've been through some things.
And recitals.
And recitals. That's why we're recording at 10 o'clock at night. And we're here to talk to you about it. This show is unscripted, it's unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly. Ken's going to tell us what we're going to talk about in just a second. We talk about heavy things, but we like to have a good time, and we hope you do too. So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with somebody on their personal development journey. Ken, what are we talking about today?
Topic of the night is when to ask for help.
Yesterday.
So there's a saying, right? The saying goes, you can go fast alone, but you can go further with help. Mm-hmm. So it's when to know to ask for help. So when you're in an endeavor, if you're starting a new project, whatever it may be in life, some people are just scared to just open their mouth, or they're worried that they're going to be judged if they ask a question or ask for help on something. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you my most recent was me going to you, Fenton, and asking for your assistance because you have an amazing digital company called Olive Branch Digital, as per the Beanie, that creates amazing websites.
You're too kind.
And if people don't know this, we'll have a link on the bottom for Olive Branch Digital. But yeah, they create amazing websites. And Fenton actually has a new venture with the digital aspect called Essentials, which is pretty much like you can have a website up sooner, faster, more efficient. And I went to Fenton probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago and said, hey, Fenton, I've got this new company I'm starting, Kinetic Shift, LLC.
Great.
Kinetic. I know Kinetic is spelled K-I-N, but it's Kenetic, so K-E-N-E-T-I-C, Shift, Kinetic Shift. It's a business coach consulting company. And Fenton was able to help me out. Listen, I went to school for graphic design. I went to CW Post, graduated in 2003. I've done websites, I've done logos. It's been a long time, a little rusty, but I also didn't have time to do it. And I knew that my amazing friend over here could help me out. So I asked for help. There's other things in life also. All right. So when I tell my children, listen, if you need help with something, just ask mommy, daddy, or, your teacher at school, whatever it may be, because if you keep quiet, right, and you don't ask the questions that you need the answers to, or you don't ask someone to say, hey, can you assist me and show me once or twice until I get it, then you'll be just stuck in limbo, or you'll be stuck with the wrong information, let's say. So that, again, that saying is you can go further with help. You can go faster alone. So I know there are people out there. So there's sometimes I want to be a loner and just say, I got this. Let me do it myself.
I could do it. I could do it,
Like,
mommy.
right. But
But
if I have guidance, right? If you go to someone for guidance and you go to someone who knows the subject or knows what's entailed on your journey, maybe it'll help you get around some of the obstacles or move quicker or to the next step by knowing some of the mistakes that someone else went through.
That's huge.
So again, just asking for help.
That's huge, man. Yeah, I don't like to waste time when I'm doing things, and I don't want to make mistakes that I don't need to make. I go and I ask for help, and I ask for help from professionals. We are adults, okay? We're not kids. Put aside some change, pay for the help that you need, ask a professional. You know, you need your taxes done, you go to a CPA. You know, you need your house painted, call Ken. You know, you need plumbing done, you call Ken. But you know, when I need something done or from endeavoring to do something, I want the information and I want the assistance. And I don't know, maybe if it's getting older, I realize I don't have time to waste making silly mistakes. So I really appreciate that you said that part. It's like you don't need to make the mistakes on your own. You could talk to somebody that's done it already and they can help you. Oh, okay, you know, look out for this. You want to structure this that way. I'm on the board of a nonprofit, and you know, we recently formed like an advisory council, right? So it's like a federated model, not to get too deep into the weeds, but like you have different affiliates all throughout the country, right? And those affiliates have presidents. And the presidents basically get together and they formed an advisory council where, as leadership of all the different places, we get to share information with each other. Oh, how did you structure, you know, your organization? How do you run your alumni association? How do you do this legally, financially? You can create, you know, SOPs, standard operating procedures, and share that information with each other, you know, so that way, you know, if let's say a new chapter starts up, hey, here's the playbook on how to get
Right.
everything set up, you know, and it's about sharing information. It's about supporting each other, finding synergies, you know, and you could do that with people in your life as well. You know, in your personal life, maybe you have somebody like you know, we are both married, we both have kids, you know, we work, we're both entrepreneurs. You know, we could talk to each other and find synergies in our lives. And I could talk to you about things that you've done that might help me out. It's like, oh man, all right, now I know Ken has experience in this, you know, area. Let me talk to him about that because I really don't know
Right.
how the playbook is. And that it's interesting because I should start a coaching business because you know, I spend a lot of time talking to people in my circle, and mostly people in my circle because I try to, you know, give people game. If you're close to me, if you're in my circle, I will spend the time, you know, to talk to you because I want everybody in my circle to elevate and give them the playbook. I'll give the whole playbook. I don't care. You know,
Right.
you know, we're gonna have to start charging for that, you know, going forward. But anyway, yeah, it's get the ego out of the way. You're not supposed
Yes.
to know everything. Who said? Okay, I'll give this last example and I'll shut up. I was at lunch with some friends, business associates, and they were having a conversation, the two of them, about some play or something. I'd never seen the play before. And the subject of the play was somebody is a historical figure. And I wasn't familiar with that historical person or those events. So they're talking back and forth, and ha ha ha, yeah, and this part was so great. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Fill me in. I want to laugh. I want to ha 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 too. And one of them paused and he says, you don't know what we're talking about? And he said, good for you. And he gave me like a fist bump. And I was like, what's the fist bump for? He said, most people just sit there and and they have no idea what we're talking about. And they'll just pretend because they're too embarrassed to say, I don't know.
Right.
That's not your boy. I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to be like, can you spell that word, please? Can you use it in a sentence? Like, what does that mean? Because I have, go look at my LinkedIn. you could see what I do and what I've done. And when you talk to me, you can tell I'm a bright guy. So there's nothing on me to say, well, I don't know this. I know all of this, but I don't know this. That's cool. I'm an expert over here. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean I have to be an expert on everything. And if I'm gonna learn, I can't claim to know everything. What's there to learn if I know everything? Some people should ask themselves that question. Like, if you know everything, smarty pants. You know, if you're so filled with information, like, how do you pour into a vessel that's full? You know,
Right.
you got to acknowledge that, like, you're not that full. You don't know. You might be full of crap. You know, pretending pretending that you know everything. You're full of it, and that's why you don't learn anything, because you're not humble enough to say, I don't know. I can be poured into. That's all I got.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. People's egos. Got to get your ego out the way. And you're right. You don't know everything. Stop it. And you do run across the people in this world that say, I know everything. I read this. I've done this. Stop. One of my things I was talking to my wife about earlier today, and we're talking about when it comes to book smarts and street smarts, right? But forget that for 2 seconds. Let's go with book smarts, right? So you got a degree in something. And the discussion was, all right, babe, I'm not talking about a doctor or a lawyer. I'm not talking about those degrees. I'm not talking about a professional degree, like, in that sense. I'm saying, like, someone in the sense of, like, a carpenter. Let's go with carpenter, something I know, right? Mm-hmm. So carpenter, third generation, did that from the age of pretty much on job sites from the age of 8, but reading blueprints at about 13, 14 years old, running a crew at about 18, 19 years old, project super at 25. How did they get that job? I was the youngest project super for a company in Woodbury. It was called CLK Houlihan Parnes, 25 years old. They looked at my work history and said, even though you don't have a degree in this, your work experience is what gives you the right for this position. So learning something, learning a skill, and asking the right people who are in front of you. So I had my father, I had my uncles that taught me these skills, not a professor, not the traditional way, but asking for help, getting my ego out the way so that I can advance in life and advance in that part of my career. My career now is in auto sales. So I went from a salesperson to a manager, but I spoke to the right managers because I always, hey, tell me how you did that. Tell me how you closed that deal. How do you work these kind of numbers? I asked for help. And then you have people who don't ask for help. And some are just, there are people that are just, they're happy where they are. We were just having a discussion about people being happy where they are right before we started recording. Then you have others that are unhappy where they are, but never put their egos aside to say, all right, give me a blueprint. How did you do that? They never open their mouth to just, hey, can you help me? And if you do that a little more often and just shut your mouth and open your 2 ears for a second and put everything else aside, you will advance. Not you will advance, but you got to put the effort in to actually learn from the people who have done it before you. So
I want to put on my empathy hat for a second, because I'm listening to you and I'm playing back what I said in my head. And I think because we've gotten to a place where we can ask for help, it is important to remember that people who cannot ask for help, it's not necessarily because they're, like, hard-headed or anything like that. Like, there may be some real blockages there, that prevent them from asking for help. And so I would like to unpack really quickly, like, what some of those things may be. And I think particularly as Black people, it can be challenging to ask for help, because you may be in a situation where, like, you don't know if you're gonna get another at bat. And let's say you get a job. I've been in plenty of spaces that were mostly white spaces, and I'm one of the few Black faces there. And for anyone who's watching who's not Black, if you don't know, like, there is a pressure to be way better than your Caucasian or non-Black counterparts, because you just don't get that many at bats. So once you're in the room, like, you really got to show up and show out. and you never just represent yourself. You're always representing all of Black humanity. So, there's a little bit of pressure there. So asking for help might not seem like the appropriate thing to do because you don't want to look like you don't know, like you don't belong there, like you're not smart enough, like you're not experienced enough. And that's a legitimate reason why in that situation, somebody might shy away from asking for help. And, if you're ever in those situations, and I certainly have been in those situations, it's important to find some type of ally. It's important to find somebody that, whether it's within the organization or it could be somebody at an organization similar to yours. I was in advertising for a good while, and sometimes there wasn't somebody that I could talk to about the challenges that I was having on my job, but I could talk to another Black person who had a similar role at another ad agency, and we could compare notes. But I had to actively seek out that allyship and that mentorship. And I think the one thing that I did well was I knew that I had to find that because I wasn't going to get it on the job. I just wasn't. Shout out to the Black people that were on the job, okay? Because there were some amazing people, but I still had to, go find people maybe like in my direct role.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe there wasn't another person in my direct similar role. But yeah, don't be ashamed. Don't feel like you can't. And also, excuse me, how do I say this? Life is real. Bills are real. The actions that you take on your job in situations, like it has a real impact. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep a roof over your head. You want your relationships to work out. You want to, you want to excel at things. I understand. But also nothing is ever actually that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're not talking life or death, for the most part, and I don't want to generalize, but for the most part, you can stumble. You'll get back up. You can stumble, you probably won't fall. If you do, you can get back up. Things always seem a lot worse in the moment when you're going through, like you've been in situations, Ken, where it's like, man, it feels like this job, the whole weight of the world is on me and, I might get fired today and it's just really bad, or this relationship, sucks or whatever. And it's just like my whole world is crashing down because my girlfriend or whatever. No one's saying that that's not real. Also, you have a 100% success rate of making it to the next day. 100%. You've always made it through. And most likely just with a bruised ego. Probably not bruised ribs or anything like that. So what I'm saying is just I was going to say suck it up, but that's not nice.
Just suck it up.
No, it's not nice. That's what I mean. I want it to be helpful. Just know that you are going to make it through. And it's incumbent upon you to take that step. It is a leap of faith. It's a little Indiana Jones, what I'm saying, where he walked and, he couldn't see the step, whatever. There's a little bit of that involved, but trust us. We're here. We made it. You're going to make it too. That's what I
Beautiful wrap up.
Just read what's on the teleprompter, man. That's all I do. I'm glad we got through this. It really is late. We really do have families. We really shared some wisdom. I hope that you all share it with somebody that you know on their personal development journey. You got anything else, man?
Shout out to Olive Branch Digital for helping me my website.
Can't wait to get it launched. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. See you soon.
All right, y'all.
Have a good night, man.
Peace.